Yerushalmi Sotah Daf Mem, about 5 lines down from the top. K to the Luchas Ksuvim. How the ksu how were the so there was written on the Luchas. So each one had, like we see, popular today. There was five of each of the Sarasatibus was on each Luach. Rabbanan say Asora Luach Zev, Asora Luach Zev was 10 on each one. Diksiv, as it says in the pasuk. Uh, it says in the pasuk, "Vayugad lochem es brise, ashetziva eschem lasses aseres advarim, and aseres aluch zev, aseres aluch zev." So see, it was 10 on each one. Aseres advarim, mashma is the complete aseres advarim on each one. Shimon Yochiyam esma aluch zev, esma aluch zev was 20 in each one. The ksiv, "Vayugad lochem es brise, ashetziva eschem lasses aseres advarim." Um, and we see this in the pasuk. It says Vayichtevim, the Carbonator says Vayichtevim Ashnei Luchos Avonim. In other words, Mashma says that 10 of them were written twice, right, on the two Luchos Avonim. Right, it says Aseres Hadvarim, right? So in other words, so each one of them had on the had it had I'm sorry, Reb Shimon Yochid, it's a Shnei, which was it's Mashma is two. So in other words, it's 10 times two written on each one. That's the way the Carbonator learns. So again, Rav Shimon Yochanan es Malach Zev es Malach Zed. Except you lachem es b'yisrael shetziv eschem lasses es advarim es Malach Zev es Malach Zed. Rav Simoya me'abon aluach Zev abam Malach Zev 40 times in each one, because it says mizeh hem ksuvim tat regoina, which is a square. So in other words, it was a square. At the end, depending on how you learn, it was written on all. The one that makes more sense to me is you can say it's 40 times. It was written once. No, it's all the 10 the Haseres Hadibros were written on each side of the square, so you end up with 40. Chanani ben Achia Rabbi Shuaim ben Kol Diba Diba Diktuk Tevi Esisehod. It wasn't just Haseres Hadibros, but all the Diktukim and the Oisius, so were written as were there as well in the Luchas. And where do we see it from? It's Memula in Betarshish Kiyama Rabo, like the Yama Gadol. So they that it was like the way. So what does that mean? Reb Shimon ben Lakish says, "Kadhavo moti laden kai." When he used to get to this pasuk, "Habama yafel limadi chanani ben Achi Rabbi Shua." Chanani ben Shua taught me well. Ma yamazeh, ma right, just like this river. Ben gal gadol gal gadol. Gam katan, between the big waves, you have a bunch of small waves. Kach ben kol dibur dibur. Same thing by the luchas. Diktutevis yisrael shel Torah were written as well. So between each of the dibros being the big galim, you had the Oisius and the Ketukim of the Torah written there as well. Amrav Tanchum is Cassius Kame Repinchas. Asked Repinchas as follows. We had machlokes on Daf Lamates about where the if there's a Sefer Torah in the Aron or not. So asked Repinchas, Asik Reb Yudav, Asik Reb Meir, that it comes out like Rebuta, but not it doesn't come out like Remei. Remei, right? Rebuta says that the Torah was outside of a box, right? The Sefer Torah was put outside of the box. There was a box there was a box attached to the Aron, and that's where the Sefer Torah was put. Remei says that the Sefer Torah is in the Aron, and we have that whole cheshbon of the luchas, how much space they occupied. Fine. So he says, ask Rabbi Yehuda that the Sefer Torah is not in the box, not like Remat, and Rabbi Yehuda. Where does he get it from? It says, L'koich Sefer Torah azeh. Right? It says, right, where does he get it from the pasuk? It says, L'koich Sefer azeh, v'samtam oisa mitzad orim bris Hashem. Right? That's what the pasuk says. Right? The pasuk says, L'koich Sefer Torah azeh, v'samtam oisa mitzad orim bris Hashem. So that sounds al pi pashtus, just like Rabbi Yehuda says. Al daite the Rabbi Yehuda. So that the Rebbe du Ama Echan Sefer Torah Hoinas. And where was it? Come on, Gluskis Asaloim Bachutz. There was a box, like I said before, so that wasn't on the other arm. I'm sorry about that. That there was a box outside the Aron, and Sefer Torah Nasim B'Seichen. The Sefer Torah was inside that box. Okay. Matam. Ma tam the Remeir. Where what is Remeir, right? Because Remeir says that it's that it was put inside the Aron. So it says in the Satas HaKaparis ala Aron mi lemala. And it says, so if you look at the pasuk, it says in Satas HaKaparis ala Aron mi lemala, vela Aron titnus edus asher etein elecha. So vela Aron titnus edus, the edus being the Sefer Torah. We're referring to Sefer Torah. And where is it put? It's put, right? Velo Aron Titna Sedus Alpi Pashta sounds like you're putting it in the Aron. Fine. Al Daite. Now here there's a bunch of different girsahs. Um, let's remember how I learned this. Al Daite. So now Al Daite the Rebbe. So according to the Korban Eidah, this is where you have to be going. So Al Daite the Rebbe Yehuda, right? Uamar ein muktam u'ma'ucha b'Torah. According to Rabbi Yehuda, there's no, in other words, Rabbi Meir's, right, Elachayr, it sounds like Rabbi Meir's possible be a Kash Rabbi Yehuda because it's very pashut. It says, right, it says in the Pasuk, um, Velorin Titnas Eidos. The Mashmos is that it goes into the Aron. So it's a Kash, Elachayr, it'll be Pasha, it's a Kash Rabbi Yehuda. So at least the Pasuk Rabbi Meir. Obviously also vice versa. So the so the answer to that is that he holds ein mukdam and mocha b'Torah, even in one Inyan. Trying to remember how took me a while to get through this. It was a few days ago. I'm trying to remember how I ended up learning Pshat over here. The Pnei Moshe, I'm going to try the Pnei Moshe's Pshat first. I apologize for this. I don't remember, and I didn't have I was on the road, so I didn't have my regular Gemara with me. Otherwise, I would have put a note inside. Let's see, we'll try this with the Pnei Moshe. My time, it will go with the Pnei Moshe. So I'm the Pnei Moshe, the Ramaschal, my time, the Rebbeya, the Ksiv, and the Satas HaKapayis. Velo Orin Titnus Eidus, Asher Tene Lecha. V'sfirulei the Sefer Torah Nabe Eidus he. Okay, so that's the same as the carbon aid. The Ksiv, V'hoyu Sham B'chol Eid. So we see that the Sefer Torah is referred to as an aid. Right? Because you look at the order of the pasuk, it seems to be out of order. It says first from the Satas HaKapayis, Mala put the cover on. Then ve'alorin titnas edus shetin elechla. It's backwards, right? First you put in the edus. How are you getting if the cover's on? How are you getting the sefer Torah inside? Ella. Now he says the ein muktam mocha batayra. This is what the way the Pnei Moshe learns that the ein right. Al daiter mei du ame ein muktam mocha batayra. Vel orin titan es edus ashetin elecha. V'acher kach v'nasatas hakaparis al ha'orin milamala. So it's written in it's reversed, but it means first put in the sefer Torah inside, then afterwards you'll cover it up. So now, what's the next one? Al die to the Rebbe do Amar ein muktam mochav Torah. The hachigam akra al alorin titna seitu shu sefer Torah vu eitus li yisrael v'ach kach v'nasat sakaparis al alorin melamal v'af gav the kodem akra ein muktam mochav b'Torah. Now, I mean, the issue I had with this is that the issue I had with this is then what's the kasha? If you look at the Rabban Tavchumis, kasha is coming to Pinchas Asik Rabbi Yehuda. It only comes out like Rabbi Yehuda. So, but you just had a very nice pshat. How it comes like Rabbi Meir too? What's the problem? I think the way I learned it was, and it's a shame I didn't have my Gemara with me, but I think that what I ended up learning is this way: is it's the Pnei Moshe, but a little bit of a knetch. So like this, Al dai to Rabbi Meir do amen imuktam mochabet Torah. I'm sorry, just to go up. So we have Al Daita Rabbi Yehuda Domer Eichen Sefer Torah Inos and Kamin Gluskus Oslo V'Achutz V'Y Sefer Torah Benos V'Sechem Ma'atam Der Meir V'Nosata Sekaparis Ala Orei Milamala. Now, his kasha was that if Reb Meir is learning at it, it sounds like it fits very nicely. It's very glad according to Rabbi Yehuda, because according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's very plain. It says in the pasuk, "Lokech sefer Torah zev santa mois mitzad orim b'ris Hashem lekechem." So there's no issue over there. But according to Reb Meir, it says Matan Rebbe Nasad Sekvaris Alor Milamala, it's written out of order. It's written out of order because first it says put the cover on, and then he put the save. So I had it that, and I think that was his kasha. So what's his teretz? His teretz is that's al daited reiter meil shitase duama imukta mucha batayra. And the way to read the pasuk is like this: Vel oren titanas edus first asheteni lecha v'yacha kach v'nasatas akvaris alar milamala. I think that's the way I learned this way. That's his kasha. His kasha was the chayut sounds like the mashmos api pashtus is like Rabbi Yehuda. That was his kasha. And he brought down, and you see from the psukim, because you see the pasuk that Rameh brings is very shver, because first he put the cover on, then he put the sefer Torah. So he says, no, the answer to that. So his answer was that Reb Meir holds a muktam mucham Torah. Therefore, it's not such a kasha on Reb Meir. Maybe you can still say that Mashda al pi pashtus, it would go, but since you have to fetch this in, that maybe it goes al pi pashtus more like Reb Yehuda. Okay, Reb Pinchas v'shem Rishon Melakish Torah Shnasan Kodesh Baruch Hu. What was it? Was Oira Eish. Levana Charusa Eish Shechayra. So it was the leather, it's the paper equivalent, the parchment was white fire, and the letters were black fire. He Eish Movlelas Be'eish, it itself was fire. The Torah itself was fire, and Blula was enveloped in Eish. Chatzuva Me'eish, it was hewn from Eish. Nesuna Me'eish was given from Eish. Miminoi Eish Das Lama. It was all fire. Zog teli Mishnah Loch Dalet. V'dibro Hashet Meloam Leimam Yosha Shebon Abayis Chodosh V'loi Chanach Yelch V'Yoshel Abayis. So someone built a house. He didn't make his Chanukas Abayis yet, so he goes home. He doesn't have to fight in the war. Echad Abayin Abayis Chodosh. Dr. Mishnah means whether he built a brand new house, whether it was a tevin, whether it was a place to store straw, base bakar for animals, base eitzin, you can store your firewood, base eitzrus, or just a storage house. Whether he built any of these structures or he bought them, so he didn't actually build it, just bought it. Whether he inherited it, someone gave them as a gift. Zok the Gemara, Ashabana ba yis, only Ashabana ba Shabana. As Shabana Bayis, the pasuk sounds like only if he built it. Lokach Yorish Nitla Matana Minayin. How do I know if it was given to him? Let's say Tamaloima Ish Mia Ish. So the reboy of again, the question is what the reboy is over here. It says so the carbonate says that Ish is miyuta. So mi ha Ish. Ha Ish is miyuta. Okay, and in other words, that it's that there's somebody who built it. In other words, whether you bought it, somebody at some point built it. Now, for you, it's new, as you bought it, so therefore you got to go home. Okay. So minayin habayna beis hateven beis habak beis eitzim beis haitzaris. How do we know? Any kind of structure that any kind of housing structures, whether it's housing for storage or for animals, that's good enough. I would think somebody who builds like a gatehouse for the guard, vachsadra, or a porch, maybe they also go back. It's a place that's livable. You can't live in the guard booth. You can't live there. Yotze also excludes Ba'ashem Ba'aba Amas Al Abamas. It has to have it has to be at least 4 by 4 Amas. The Tani Ba'ashem Ba'aba Amas Al Abamas, Potem and a Maka, you don't have to put a gate on the roof. Umin a mezuzah, you don't have to put a mezuzah in an Eruv. It, it doesn't have to contribute pass for the Erev Chatzeres, for Eina Toivel Maisris. If you walk in front of it, we know that the doorway is makes something tevel for Maisa, but this house, even if you walk in front of the doorway, less than 4 by 4, it is not tevel for Maisis. Abba Amis Lifnei Pischa. You right? The din is that every door gets 4 Amis in front in the Chatzer, not this house. It's not considered to be a chibur of the ear if it's within the Shivma Shirayim. We don't start counting, right? We don't count the ear from that. We don't count the city from that point, the point of this house out. Instead, we go back to the walls of the city if it has walls. V'hanoidim in abayis mutalei someone he's noidim in abayis, not going to have enough from the house. He's allowed to go to that. Ve'ena tzamis b'yovel doesn't go out litzmises. We know that once you have mois lo shona tmima, you have a year to paid it, and if you're not paid it in a year, it goes out litzmises, not this house. Ve'ena matam in the goyim, it doesn't have din in the goyim. Ve'ena b'malchosin lo b'malchama, like we saw. Matam lo me'asher. Now, why does it say Asher Bana? Pratla Shenofel Beisoy Bana. If his house collapsed and he built it up exactly the way it was before, then he doesn't go back. Because also it's not a simcha really. Hayachla boina bayis b'chatz. I'm sorry, Yachla boina bayis b'chatz lords. Maybe if I build a house in Borough Park, I should go back. Tamaloi v'loi chanchay. Yeshem mitzav l'chanchay. Yatzah zeh shem mitzav l'chanchay. Even if I have a big mansion in Borough Park or Lakewood for that matter, there's no din of Chanukas Habayis, and if you don't get to go back from the war. Hiktim loischar. If let's say he rented out the house and the renter paid him the full amount of money up front, that's considered Kamisha Chanchay, and he would not go home, he would not go back for that. Then it's Kamish Loichanchai. So if he doesn't pay him the rent until later, then it's not a Chanukah Zvais, and he would go home. No, what's if he locked it? So now, if he locked it, if the items they left in the house are valuable enough that he would be mevatel himself and work to go get them, that's considered to be a chiluk sabais. He wouldn't go back for him loud, but if he, let's say, has cheap items that it wouldn't go, but he would take off a time to work to get them, then it's not as if he didn't have it, and he would not, and he would go back from fighting the war. And that's Daf Mem Amid Beis. Daf Mem.